All right, right on time, right on time, right on time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rines Report. This is your host, Tristan Blake Rines, here on RadioFreeRadford.com. I am joined by Sam Montana and Shiza Manzoor of Manzoor Photography. Say hi to the people, Sam.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's been one of those weeks.
You guys can probably just hear the amount of tired going through.
Oh man, I think we're both pretty exhausted this week.
It's definitely one of those weeks.
Dude, it really is.
But we have plenty to talk about today. It's going to be a pretty casual show. We might just go off the rails just because. So forewarning, If you think we're going off topic, it's because I'm just letting it happen.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about the top edge rushers in the NFL, the potential of the 49ers and Jimmy G this season, our favorite underdogs coming into next season and why, and my mock draft 4.0. And like I said, we might just goof around till the top of the hour. So your top underdogs of the season, Sam, what do you got for me?
Players or teams?
Teams.
Okay, teams.
I mean, we can do players
No,
as well.
let's do teams makes more sense. I just wanted to make sure.
Well, just a few guys we could throw in there, though. It's not a big deal.
Team-wise, underdogs?
Yeah.
Well, the Bears are underdogs.
Yeah?
I don't know, I've been thinking about the Bears a lot lately. I want Chicago
What's interesting to you about the Bears? Oh, by the way, if I had to change my mock draft because I totally forgot that they picked up Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
Like the last 2 weeks, I haven't realized, and I keep forgetting. Like I was one of the additions I really liked this offseason, and I kept forgetting about it.
Well, the thing I like about the Bears is that they're young, they're in a transition. They just and I mean it's Chicago, man.
Mm-hmm.
When Chicago does good, the NFL does good, right? The bigger cities, when the bigger cities like really, it's. Good
Are you speaking economically?
Sure, but also I like it when big cities with big fan bases are good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
like Philadelphia finally winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Whenever the Patriots win a Super Bowl, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a big city.
The
Giants, the Boston area.
The Giants.
The
right?
Giants. I mean, the
Rams.
Jets haven't won one since 69. You know what I mean?
49ers.
Now the Rams and the 49ers, San Francisco, not as big as LA, but
I'm just ready to.
like Dallas, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just ready for some of these teams that have been really not good for a long time, that have really passionate fan bases.
You're basically ready for the changing of the guard.
Yeah, and for some of these teams. So the Bears are up there for me. Another underdog that I think has potential. You think the Broncos are underdogs?
I actually do have them on my list.
Yeah, I think they're underdogs too.
I mean, Case Keenum's a good pickup this offseason, but I don't know if he's the answer yet. Like that's why I had him on that list so far down, because I just don't know how I feel about Case Keenum.
I think they're underdogs.
My underdogs, number one, the LA Chargers. The Cleveland Browns are on here. The Broncos, as I said. The Detroit Lions. The Bears, like you said.
I like the Chargers on there.
I added a couple last minute. The New York Giants.
Yep.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep, I was seeing the Buccaneers too.
Yeah, because the Buccaneers have a ton of potential.
Oh.
Like Mike Evans, Jameis Winston. Their offensive line needs work. Their secondary needs work, but they've got a really good front seven on the defense as well.
Raiders.
The Raiders?
They're underdogs.
I wouldn't consider them underdogs.
Yeah,
I just consider them last year to be disappointing.
I'd say they're underdogs.
I would just call them disappointing. That's all. Like I mean, they were supposed to be super good.
You can be disappointing and still be an underdog.
No, underdogs are teams that like were. I wouldn't say like close last year. Like you weren't expecting them to make the playoffs, but like they got kind of close. Just missed it. Like, which is why I put the Chargers in there. Like the Browns coming off a 0-16 season. Like you can't get any worse.
Is it bad that I'm starting to? I'm kind of ready for our division to get decent again.
Oh, like the rest of like the Jets, the Bills.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd like a little bit of. I mean, dude, we've been whooping them for what, almost 20
17 years.
Dude,
17
like,
years.
There's only been like a couple. Years.
Miami won the division one time. The Jets won the division.
Yeah,
one time.
like I'm ready for at least some competition.
Like the Bills haven't won a division title in 20 years.
Yeah.
They didn't make the playoffs for the first time in 20 years till this last season.
I'm ready. I'm ready for some more competition in this division. Like the Jets, dude. There's nothing better than New York-Boston sports rivalries, dude.
That's the team. That's the one team for me that like
you can't stand. Me neither. But I want to see the Jets be decent because it's fun. It's more fun that way, man. I'm sorry. The Dolphins too. I mean Miami. I mean I can't root for Miami, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Miami's one of those teams that just hasn't been good in what 20 years.
Miami hasn't been a terrifyingly great team. You know what I mean? For a while, like they've had some pretty solid defenses the last few seasons. But they haven't made the playoffs since Chad Pennington.
Yeah.
As far as I remember. Oh no, they made it a few years ago with Tannehill and them.
Yeah.
But they got whooped by the Steelers. I'm pretty sure like first round.
Yep. It was a stomp. I remember that. It was
Antonio
Brown
destroyed them. He had like 3 touchdowns, like a couple hundred yards.
Yeah, like 200 yards or some stupid number.
And then Matt Moore got destroyed by James Harrison. You remember he like rolls out on the sideline, goes to throw the ball away, and just gets leveled. Gets up like nothing. He's shaking it off, but you can just tell that he's not like he's scared. You can just see it in his eyes.
He forgot where he was.
But I think the Cleveland Browns this year are, of course, on an upside. You know what I mean? They finally got a good quarterback.
Yep.
You know, I mean, Tyrod Taylor's Tyrod Taylor's better than what they've had. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
By far.
Definitely.
Tyrod, you know, a competitive starter in the NFL. They got Jarvis Landry. Josh Gordon's going to be back for another season.
Going to be drafting
Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde. They have 2 high draft picks, like you said, and I'm going to get to probably at the end of the show. Yeah. I do have the top 32. A little thrown together, but I do have 32 picks, first-round mock draft. There is a trade in there. It's just depending on where things end up. I really like the Chargers, man. And one of my bold, like, probably not going to happen, but I wouldn't be as surprised as everybody else would be if it happened, like with Phillip Rivers winning the MVP. Because think about this, man. They've got a heck of a good offense.
You got to have a good defense.
Their defense is getting better.
Their defense is good.
I mean, they have a solid pass rush out of the defense with Bosa and Ingram.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they kept bolstering it this year with a draft.
That's what I'm saying, man. These bigger like markets, I like. I don't know. I enjoy it more when they're good. Like L.A., have the Rams and the Chargers be just nasty.
The Chargers are just having a tough time getting people in the stands, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think this year could be the year they start doing really well. I'd be disappointed if they did bad.
Well, the thing is, the Rams are just so much more interesting to watch right now.
Oh, of course. Well, their offense is just fire. That's all it is. It's what it's looking like. Their defense has got even better. You know, with Marcus Peters, Talib, and Ndamukong Suh.
If the Chargers want to compete, they have to get better. They just do in the market.
I think that maybe at their linebacking corps on defense need to get a little better. The safety position could get better for the Chargers.
They just need to be more consistent. That's their problem. Yeah, they're so inconsistent. Like, they'll lose games that they should win. They'll win games they shouldn't.
Well, this year their big issue is also with special teams with the kicking.
Yeah,
they went through like 4 kickers.
I remember that.
Everybody forgot, and Tampa Bay had a bad kicking situation as well. They probably would have beat the Patriots on Thursday Night Football if they would have had a better kicking situation.
They would have had a good chance. It's almost like our defense wasn't very good or something weird.
Surprising, right?
I know, right? Weird.
I'm not surprised anymore.
No, neither am I.
At this bad defense. The Denver Broncos, they have a solid defense every year. I mean, even losing to Talib this year, I think Roby's going to fill that spot pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get some decent guys in the second or third.
He might even fill it better because he might be more more professional. You know, Talib's great, but he's more
chain snatching.
Yeah, like that's not going to happen now. Like that might be a good thing for the locker room, honestly. A more stable guy come in and do just as good a job.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think who else would be really. I really like Roby. This year, I can see them picking up somebody in the draft. This keep reinforcing the defense, but we shall see. You know what I mean? Like, I do have my mock draft, but I do want to save that towards the end.
I want to see the Skins go back up too. The Redskins.
The Skins have been consistently decent. That's all they've been.
But it'd be fun to watch. I just like it when teams.
Would you say they're a top underdog? I mean, they didn't make the playoffs last year, but they're competitive in the division.
No, they're in
like the Redskins would be probably a division leader, like in the AFC South or something.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But like, it just happens to be they're in Philadelphia, Dallas, and Giants.
Got one. The Titans. That's an underdog because they're good.
No. I only picked teams that didn't make the playoffs last year.
Oh, okay. Is that the?
That was my personal criteria.
No, that makes sense.
But no. The Titans. I like their uniforms. They got a new uniform change. If you didn't see that, I mean, they look a lot more solid. You know what I mean? You can go ahead, look it up. But the Titans are pretty good. They let DeMarco Murray walk. I really like Derrick Henry out of Alabama. They've had him. He had a really good performance against the Chiefs in the playoffs this season. I'm trying to think who else. Corey Davis is still kind of developing as well. Their defense keeps getting better, it seems like, with age. I mean, they got in Malcolm Butler. They have Logan Ryan, their safety. They got Kevin Byard, who ended up being like a Pro Bowler, All-Pro selection last season, led the NFL in interceptions.
They're going to be scary.
They could be.
I think they're going to be really good.
And I think they just keep going defensively, too. Like, Mariota didn't have a terrifyingly great year.
He was struggling with injuries all year, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude came off an ACL. And so that's the thing, too, is like Derek Carr was coming off an ACL and then had a back injury early in the year, too, which is what I think also kind of derailed the team.
Ooh, I love these uniforms.
Yeah?
Oh, my gosh. These new Titans uniforms.
They're solid, man.
Oh, man. They remind me a lot of the Seahawks.
Yeah.
The Seahawks uniform, they're very reminiscent.
Well, like, they keep revamping. I don't know. I just think that revamping things, like the uniform or the logo, are, like, kind of signs of, like, franchises, like...
Restarting?
Restarting or trying to hold the interest of the fans. You know what
smart.
I mean? I mean, like, Detroit has done it. Like, they revamped their uniforms, like, a few years after they redid their logo.
Yeah.
The Panthers kind of revamped their logo. They did slight changes.
Should the Browns ever do that, do you think?
I don't think the Browns are ever going to stop being the Browns. I think they're just going to end up maybe looking different. I don't really like the uniforms right now.
They're ugly.
Like, I play with them on Madden. That's the only thing I don't like about the team.
I think they're really ugly. I'm not a fan of their colors.
Just got to 16-0 with the Browns on season mode, though. I'm pretty excited.
I'm so proud of you.
Sam can't take the heat, man. He can't do it. No. Can't beat me. Unstoppable force.
We've literally played like once.
And I smoked you.
Yeah, because I just bought the game. I'm so proud of you.
Well, you won't play me.
Fine, come over this weekend and I'll beat you in Madden.
You know the agreement was you're going to come over this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. That is the agreement. I was just thinking the same thing.
We got to go see A Quiet Place.
Do we, though?
We do.
Yeah,
Saturday,
we do.
man.
We do need to go see
We really got to go
Place.
see it. It looks good.
I do. I want to go see it.
That's right. I'm excited.
Go to the Radford Theater, people. Go see A Quiet Place.
Come meet Tristan, Blake Rines, and Sam Montana this Saturday. Feel lucky. Wait around. I'm sure they'll enjoy it. Just come get a signature. Come get a picture. All two of you listening live. No, but I'm still watching a lot of film as well. Like Voch Lombardi, I watch the live streams and stuff like that too. So I don't know. That's a connection. He's promoting my show every time I like a comment on something. He's like, "Oh, yo, shout outs to the Rines Report. Go listen to Tristan's podcast." And like, it's exciting.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Voch Lombardi. Let's see. Detroit Lions though as an underdog team this year.
Yep, I agree with that.
Like they've been like Stafford's what's keeping that team together.
I know.
Like they're deep. I think Patricia could be a good addition for that.
He could
defense.
be the missing piece, honestly, though.
Yeah,
he might.
Those are one of the teams that keep taking the Patriots leftovers, though, man. Like the Titans this year were taking the Pats leftovers. The last couple of years, the Lions have kind of accumulated some old Patriots players.
I got one for you. Cardinals. How's that for an underdog?
Was Sam Bradford though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You mean Mr. Knee?
No, knees.
Oh, excuse me, knees.
Not Mr. Clean though.
No, not really.
Sam Bradford's not a fan of the show.
He's never clean because he's always covered in dirt because he's getting hit so much.
Dude, I hate that his offensive lines have always been that bad.
I know.
Like the Rams' offensive line when he was there were terrible. Where else? In Philadelphia, they didn't do much help. Minnesota, they were actually clean, and then he led the league in completion percentage.
And then he got hit
once.
Boom, done.
It's bad because we think of Romo as being the guy who got hurt all the time, but like
Romo.
But I think it's because he played for the Cowboys. Like if Sam Bradford played for Dallas and was their starter like that,
you're right.
Everyone would be like, "Oh, he's terrible and he gets hurt all the time." Like, nah, Sam Bradford's a good quarterback.
Every time
he does get hurt.
Every time Tony got hit, I just, ow, my back! Every single time.
Yeah. Oh man, good thing I have my headphones on. I totally destroyed my ear.
Feels like that. But seriously, he always got hurt.
I think the Lions need a running back, man. They haven't had 1,000-yard rusher. No, they haven't even had a 100-yard rusher.
That's who they should go after in the
draft.
A
long time.
That's who they should go after in the draft.
We appreciate the photography, Shiza. Appreciate it. Stopping in. That's what those little clicks were. Photography.
Yeah.
Gotta have it, man. That's those thumbnails.
My back.
My back. Nah, but Amir Abdullah. My leg.
My leg.
Oh, man. What was I going to say? No, the Lions need a running back. Bad. Because Amir Abdullah's not doing it for him. Theo Riddick's not doing it for him. Maybe they should do Theo Riddick. Yeah, exactly. Maybe they should go after Coleman like they do in Madden. Like that's what you like to do in Madden. Every time the Falcons want to give up Coleman for some reason.
I always pick up Coleman because
he's a beast.
He's really good.
He's really good in Madden.
He's really good in Madden. Except when he gets hurt. He gets hurt a lot, I've noticed. But he'll always come back like by the end of the game.
The only reason I didn't pick up Coleman in my Browns franchise was because I wanted to draft a running back at 4 and then make him Saquon Barkley, which is exactly what I did.
You're so cool.
Saquon's a beast, man.
Is he?
Especially when I up his ratings all the time.
Stop. That's not okay.
Let's see. So,
Cheater.
The Giants. Do you think they go after a quarterback this year?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, I think they do.
I think they need to. Like, it's more of a future move.
They don't need to, yeah.
There are children running around outside.
Oh, God, it's horrifying.
We have our windows
It's
open.
the apocalypse. Kids. Anyways,
the Giants moving forward thinking for the future, though.
They don't need to yet. They could wait a year. But next year's draft, apparently, for QBs is looking really bad. So maybe this is the year to go.
I mean, this year, there's a lack at wide receiver talent.
Yep.
So every year, there's always one position where there's, like, no one.
What's going on with Odell? Any word at all?
Apparently, they've been working on his contract again. So I don't think the Giants are going to let him go.
I don't think anybody wants him for the price. Cause
No. But I think that from what I've heard, like pretty recently, was that they were, or via Bleacher Report, from what I was seeing, is like they're trying to restructure a deal for him, trying to figure something out long term. So that's where they're sitting at right now.
Well, then he can go on a boat and come back. And
Ever
leave.
since that boat picture, they did terrible.
They
And he
really
got hurt.
have. He played so bad in that game too. That playoff game.
Oh,
Remember
against
that
the Packers?
he dropped like 4 passes,
Against the Packers?
4 catches. Excuse me. Yeah,
Oh, that was a while ago now.
it was pretty bad. I remember he was.
Because everybody was thinking.
remember
that
he
the-
was wide open at one point. He went up to grab it and he just didn't, and it was like.
Well, it was also against Rodgers, man. It was a close game from what I remember.
No, it wasn't.
No?
Nope. It was.
No, it wasn't like the first half and then like the second.
No, the half it was. By the end of the first half, it was very close, and then
Yeah.
it just. But out of the second half, it was nothing.
The Giants' offensive line is what's the weakest. It's the weakest spot the Giants have.
Well, not anymore. Moving into this season.
Well, I
don't
mean,
think
Nate
so.
Solder.
Yeah, I don't think
But
it's
they need more than just him. They
I
lost
know.
their center.
They need a running back. They really need a running back.
Justin Pugh's gone. I think he went to Arizona.
They really need a running back, though. It's bad.
Well, their number one running back from last season still in the market, Orleans Darkwa.
Would you trade for David Johnson?
Would I trade? Oh my God, yes.
If you were like the Giants, would you try to go after somebody like David
Oh
Johnson?
my God, yes.
What do you-
I think David Johnson's the best running back in football.
Me too. I agree with that. Who would you trade? Like, what would you trade for him? If you're
Oh.
if you're like the Giants right now and you can get David Johnson, what would you give up?
Dang, that's a good question.
First round pick.
I don't think it's this year though. I think you give it up next year at the potential of the team being that much better.
I think he's a first round. But would you?
Oh,
Trade
he's worth a first round pick.
Okay, yeah, I agree
for
with that.
sure. I think he's worth a first round pick, maybe a later round pick. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking next year's first round pick. This year's maybe like a
A
fourth.
second or a third.
I wouldn't even say a second. I would say like a third or fourth.
I would-
if you're
I'd
the
give it a third.
Giants,
I'd give it a third
and then
one.
maybe a player as well. So like I'd maybe try to give up like Eli Apple or something.
Eli Manning.
She's not gonna give up Eli Manning.
I'd give up Eli Manning for David Johnson.
But they won't have a quarterback. Their quarterback would be Davis Webb.
That's why
You know who Davis Webb is? Webb is?
No,
No, I don't either.
Listen though, they've got the second pick. So theoretically, if they were to give up next year a first and then a third, and then give up like Eli Manning and get David Johnson, then you just draft a quarterback at the second pick, and then you've got a quarterback.
But I think that you keep Eli just to train somebody, though. That's what I'm saying. I think
No,
that
I
you
get
have
that.
to have Eli there to prepare somebody for the future.
Are there any QBs on the market left?
No.
Oh, you
Nobody
get-
big.
And you trade for Sam Bradford.
I mean, Kaepernick's still on the market.
trade for Sam
Mansell's on the market.
Then say you want Sam Bradford and David Johnson for Eli, a first round and a third. I would do that. I'd do that. in a
How much is
heartbeat.
Eli getting paid this year? Let me look it up.
Too much.
Probably.
Way too much.
Eli Manning.
He's got to be at the end of his ropes too. I can only see Eli playing another year or two, 3 years. I could see him playing up to 3 years actually. I could see him
Eli
playing 3 years.
is this season going to get paid $21 million.
Yeah, no, he's not worth that.
So he'd get paid. You'd be trading for $1 million less at quarterback, more injury prone, and a better running back
Yeah, I'd do it. And then you're picking up a quarterback in the
in the draft.
yeah. So I would do it in a heartbeat. And
I mean,
if Bradford goes down, you got a good running game.
logistically, it makes sense. But what I'm saying is that I think that Eli is still worth more to the Giants than David Johnson is to the Cardinals.
Okay, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like, if without Eli, they're worse, and they were the second worst team in football this
If I
year.
were the Cardinals and someone was like, "What would you trade for David Johnson?" I'd laugh.
I mean, even the Cardinals without a quarterback are sitting at. Let me see. They were sitting at the 15th spot. They were still just about average.
I have a feeling they're going to be garbage this year, though.
The Cardinals?
Yeah, I do. I have a feeling they're going to be really, really, really bad.
They could be, but I think it depends on how David Johnson comes back from this wrist injury. Because David Johnson,
No,
I love David Johnson. Destroyed me when he got hurt in fantasy,
No.
but I think that David Johnson makes a big difference. Sam Bradford, if he stays healthy, they could be good, and if he's healthy, like what they need to do is basically give him a system where he doesn't do the Peyton Manning system that Denver did, like a few years back, like 2014. If I'm not wrong. Maybe
Yeah, no,
2013-ish.
2013, 2014.
It was something like
the
that,
2013. No, the 2014.
No, it was
2015.
2013 because 2014 was 49. Super Bowl 49. So the year before that was 48. That's when they played the Seahawks. But no, what the Broncos did was give him a quick passing option, basically. So like it was out of his hands within 3 seconds.
Yep.
He wasn't getting hit often. That's what Bradford needs.
Needs badly.
And I think it's what Arizona's probably going to do for him this year. And if you get David Johnson back, Larry Fitzgerald's still there, I wouldn't be surprised that they do pretty decent.
It all comes down to the
They're
coaching.
not a Super Bowl team.
No, but it all comes down to the coaching. That's it. I think at the end of
They're
the
a
day.
big defensive coach team.
Depends how good their coaching is this year, though.
I can't remember his name, but they did pick up the defensive coordinator for the Panthers.
Cool. I mean, he might do all right. I don't know, man. I'm not. The thing is, I feel like Bruce Arians is the only reason that team was like even.
Oh, Bruce Arians was an amazing coach.
Yeah, he's the only reason that team was even interesting to watch for the last 2 years. That's true. I'm sorry.
I mean,
He's the
Carson
only
Palmer
reason.
was
Hurt.
not. He was either hurt or he didn't want to play
He was
football.
hurt all the time.
I think the one season they had that was really successful, Carson balled out.
Yeah, he didn't
And-
get hurt.
Exactly.
And then the
And
Panthers
their
destroyed
team
them.
was nasty that year. Like, the defense was really good. They had Matthew and Patrick Peterson
And then
playing
Cam.
very well.
And then Cam and the Panthers just.
Oh my! Yo,
God.
they were on a tear that year. Super Bowl 50. They were
Yeah.
so nasty.
And they didn't
that
want to
year.
scuff his shoes. Remember that? You
Wait,
remember
what
that?
are you talking about in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, when Cam wouldn't go down for the ball.
Oh, he like literally stared at it.
Yeah,
as
he just
Von
stared
Miller
at the
hopped
ball,
on
and Von Miller leapt on top of it. He didn't even try.
Von Miller was dirt nasty that game.
Oh my God,
goodness.
he was. I'm
Like,
scared of him.
like I feel bad that he doesn't have a
Dude.
Super Bowl, a defensive player of the year, but the dude's got an NFL Super Bowl MVP and
I was
a Super Bowl
scared.
ring.
I was scared, and I was halfway across the country. Like I can't even imagine how Cam felt. Like that's how nasty was that game.
Oh my goodness! I mean that year the Broncos were on a tear. I mean, and it could have been the
Defensively, they were on a
and
tear.
it could have been the Patriots that year again, man. Like
We would have destroyed the Panthers. We
I
would have
think-
destroyed the Panthers if we had gone.
Tom would have won his 5th then, and then gone against Seattle the next year, and then gotten his 6th if they win that game.
You're getting them mixed up. We beat the Seahawks, and then
Oh no, excuse me, no. It was Seahawks then. Yeah, my bad.
Seahawks.
So they would have gone and then beaten Atlanta the next year.
we would have gone 3 in a row. Wouldn't that
Yeah.
have been crazy if that happened? Dude, that Broncos Patriots AFC Championship game
That was nasty.
That was a nasty game.
Goskowski though, man. If he would have not missed that extra point,
Yep.
I think that they would have won in
Yep.
overtime. I think the Patriots would have
Yep.
won in overtime. But let's see. Let's move on to the NFL's
Great
top
kicker.
pass rushers.
I'm still salty.
You should be.
I am salty. I think that's totally
I don't know what's been going on with him, by the way.
He's
before
a better
before we
kick-
hit a music.
He's a better kicker than that. Than he's been playing the last couple of years. And it's driving me insane.
We'll see.
I wouldn't be shocked if Belichick drafted a kicker. I wouldn't be.
No.
No, I wouldn't. Because he's got to be sick of it too. I mean, how are you going to miss extra points in high-profile games? It was the same thing against the Falcons. We forget that. He missed an extra point. No,
Yeah, he missed an extra point against the Falcons. He also missed one against the Eagles in the Super Bowl this year. But that one wasn't necessarily on him. That was like a bad hold by the punter. I will say that's what happened there.
Yeah, but a field goal and an extra point missed.
For some
Too
reason,
much.
he's been losing it in the postseason.
Yeah, it's really.
Do you think?
pissing
Well,
me
now
off.
here's a quick question. Do you think it's time for the Patriots to move on from Goskowski?
Yep.
Because he's still better than most of the league.
I'd trade for him. Well, I don't know what you. I'd have to think about that. I would really have to think about that.
We could pull that one up for next week.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
I mean, give us time to think about that
Yeah.
one. I don't know, man. It's just
Yeah, are there any better kickers out there than him? Really?
no.
Tucker?
You'd have to- I mean, maybe you draft one this year and see
That's
how
what
it
I'm
works.
saying. Like, I mean, Tucker's I think better. Justin Tucker.
That's the Ravens' best player. Though.
I know they would. Yeah, I know.
There's
They
no
would-
way you would
There's
give
no
him
way
up or
they would
anything.
trade him. Yeah.
But let's move on to the NFL's top pass rushers. I have a 1 through 15 list here. Whether or not you agree with me or not, I mean, it's up to you. But all these guys on this list are pretty elite to me.
Top 15.
Top 15. Top
Okay.
15. I'm going to start from 15, work my way up. What do you think about Fletcher Cox at 15? Dude's a beast, man.
Yeah.
He applies pressure like it's no one's
I
business.
need to hear the rest of your list. I feel like he's a little too low, but I got to hear the rest of
Already?
your list. Yeah, he is.
All right, number 14, one of the top sack leaders this season, Calais Campbell, the defensive end from the Jacksonville Jaguars. 6'8", dude's a beast. He used to be just a big run stopper.
That's so low. Wow, I can't. I want to hear the rest of them now.
Yeah.
I want you to keep going just because like both those guys are monsters, and for them
It was
to be
tough
so
for it's
low-
tough for me to like order this correctly because it depends on maybe like past seasons for me as well. Like
There's some
consistently great pass
Consistency is really important.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them though. There's a lot of really
Nasty pass
really,
rushers.
really nasty pass rushers.
Exactly. Number 13, Cameron Wake, defensive end, Miami Dolphins. He gets after the quarterback. He just ends up playing Miami, and Miami is just so dry of wins and success that you don't see it a lot.
I think I put Campbell above him.
You put Campbell above Cameron.
Yeah.
Cameron's just such a speedy edge
No,
rusher.
he is.
I'm talking about just overall pass rushers. I'm not talking about just stopping the run, stuff like that. I think that overall, Cameron Wake's a better pass rusher than Calais Campbell and Fletcher Cox.
Okay, I can see
That's
that.
the distinction you have to remember as I go
Yeah,
through
I
this
got you.
list.
That makes sense.
Number 12, Ndamukong Suh, nose tackle, LA Rams. Now he's an LA Ram.
Yep.
I think he was pretty good interior-wise getting after the quarterback. And I do have an interior guy in my top 5. Let's see. DeMarcus Lawrence had a heck of a season last year. I have him at 11.
Yeah.
He got after the quarterback. Developed a lot over the course of that offseason going into this last season. Developed a lot into a really elite kind of guy. Was in consideration for the Defensive Player of the Year this year. Number 10, Brandon Graham, Philadelphia Eagles, edge rusher. Man, because I remember last season the story was he was always just like half a second too late, but he'd always get to the quarterback.
Oh, he wasn't.
He has the most quarterback pressures in the NFL for like the last 2 seasons.
Isn't that insane?
And he's pretty decently. He's got decent sacks, but he's not very high up there because he's just always like half a second short. But he's always applying a pressure.
He's the one who stripped Brady, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, he wasn't late then.
No, it was because Barnett or Barrett. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, Barrett. Right?
Dude, I've honestly blocked that moment out.
You just try not to remember.
Well, I mean, I can't even. I mean, I don't want to tangent, but I can't even get mad about it because it was a good play and literally.
No, they made the play when it needed to be made.
Yeah, you know and our defense didn't make plays. So
no, it was Chris Long who forced it.
No, it wasn't Chris Long.
I thought it was.
Nope, was not Chris Long. He did not.
Because their rookie Barrett from Tennessee picked it up.
Yeah, but he didn't actually strip him. He's not the one who knocked it out of his hand. It was
might have been Brandon Graham.
I think it was Brandon Graham. I'm pretty sure it was Brandon Graham, actually.
Yeah, those are my couple of Philadelphia Eagles on the list, and they're within 10 and 15. So let's see, number 9, Joey Bosa, LA Chargers, defensive end. I think it's a good spot.
Yep.
Because he's still early in his career, but the dude gets after the quarterback. Like
in a year or two,
one's business.
In a year or two, he could be much higher on the list.
Oh, very well. Number 8, Jadeveon Clowney, Houston Texans edge. Do you think it's a little low? I think that's just right.
I think that's just right too. Actually, he's a beast, though, man. Oh my god.
He is. I think he's got the fastest approach to hurrying and getting after quarterbacks in the league. When you watch his highlights, besides maybe Von Miller, the dude is in the quarterback's face within 2 seconds. He sheds blocks like it's no one's business. It's just scary. And he still makes those plays reminiscent of when he was in college against Michigan, where he dusted that running back and put his helmet off.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That was what put him at number 1 that year.
Yeah.
I swear, man, he was so nasty. He still is. The only thing that's been problematic with him is that he's been injury prone. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The Texans this year caught the injury bug in a bad way.
They could have been. Oh, they were so interesting.
They were so good too. Number 7, Vic Beasley, last year's sack leader. Still a good pass rusher. You know what I mean? And he can also, if you want him to, could drop back in coverage.
Yep.
I like Vic Beasley. Maybe just a little high, but that's just me. Cameron Jordan, one of the NFL sack leaders from the Saints, defensive end.
He's a little high.
A little high? I mean, the dude was in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year this year. He was really good, really good. He's been consistently good for a long time. It's just New Orleans has been so back and forth with how good they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One year they're great.
Forget how good Cameron Jordan is.
I'm happy the Saints are on the up, by the way.
Oh, I think this is the last year for Breeze. I think this is Breeze's last year to get a Super Bowl, and then he's going to retire. This is it. Because there's such a really good team around him. They're going to keep building in the draft. The defense is nasty.
When's their pick? When's their first pick?
Their first pick is at... Let me see. They're at number 27.
And they only have the one pick?
Only one in the first round.
Okay.
I mean, they've probably got other ones later, which we could go through in the following weeks.
No, but okay.
Leading up, but I mean...
I think this might be Breeze last year, too. Well, I don't know. What was the contract?
It's only 1 year.
Yeah, I think this is it.
I'm pretty sure it's on 1 year, if I'm not mistaken.
How old is he?
It's 1 year. It's some ridiculous number, though.
How old is he, though? 38?
He is
39.
Oh, he signed a 2-year, $50 million.
Okay,
so he's got 2 more years.
He'll probably play 2 more years then, but I think that'll be it.
I mean, he could just still potentially just retire.
I doubt it. I think
he's going to be 39 at the beginning of the season this year.
I think he's looking at Tom and going, "Okay, Tom, I'm gonna try."
I mean, it's just been those two for the last few years. I wouldn't say just those two, but age-wise, Josh McCown is 38, 39 years old too.
Yeah, and he's not Drew Brees or
no,
Tom Brady though.
He's got some good games, but he's not that great. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm gonna miss Drew Brees and Tom Brady when they retire.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, same. Drew Brees was nasty, and people forget how nasty he is. I remind people all the time that Drew Brees is probably one of my top 5. He owns half of the 5,000-yard seasons in history.
That's insane. The fact he's never won MVP.
And his wide receiving cores have been decent, but they've never been as amazing as what Peyton had or Tom had at one point.
Tom had, yeah.
Or heck, even Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger had Antonio Brown. He had Davis. He was really good. Now he's got Juju. He's got a good receiving core.
I really want to see Brady Brees Super Bowl so bad.
I want to see that or Aaron Rodgers versus Brady. And Rodgers is they've split 1-1 since Rodgers came in the league.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
sure. But I want to see him in a Super Bowl. They play again this year though. They're gonna play.
They do. That's gonna be a good game. I think it's a Sunday Night Football game.
I'm gonna watch that.
let's see. Back to the list. Top pass rushers. Number 5, the NFL sack leader from this season, Chandler Jones, Arizona Cardinals edge rusher.
Whoa, wait, what?
I have Chandler Jones at 5.
I love Chandler Jones. I think that's a little too high.
I put him just because he led the league in sacks this season.
I always forget that.
Yeah, he had like 17 sacks this season. I'm still mad that he's in Arizona.
Yeah, you and me talked about
I think
that.
the only reason why he was in Arizona in the first place is just a money reason. That's all. Bill's just trying not to overspend.
No,
on
he
players.
was worth the money.
I mean, looking back, yes.
Because we got rid of Jamie Collins that year. We should have just got.
Well, they kept Dante. The idea was that they were going to keep Dante and they were going to keep Malcolm, and it's only Dante. Next, it's going to be like Trey Flowers or something, which is going to suck because I like Trey Flowers. Just saying. Let's see, number 4. Remember, this is based off of prior seasons as well, but I do have J.J. Watt at 4. J.J. Watt, when he's on the field, man. I mean, this season he didn't get any sacks. Only played in like 3 games.
Dude, J.J. Watt hasn't been on the field consistently for like 3 years. I can't even put him in my top 10 anymore. I'll
Really?
say it. He hasn't played consistently for like 3 years now. It's not fair to put him above guys that are actually out there playing. You can't do that. I get why you're doing it. I get it.
I mean,
he will not be in my top 10. He has to go out and play again for me to put him in the top 10. That's like
I know.
That's like
it was tough for me to put him that high because of that. But I will say that I think that even when he's on the field, he makes a huge difference. And
except he didn't for those 3 games. He didn't get a sack.
No, he didn't.
He hasn't played.
But then again, he also didn't have to be the only one going for the quarterback.
No, and I get that, but it's that he's playing at a position where you have to be on the field.
Well, then where would you put him? Because I think he's still top 15.
Probably 11.
11, like right above DeMarcus Lawrence or something?
Something like that.
Maybe. Yeah, that seems a little more fair. I don't know. I just really like J.J. Watt at the edge. The dude has 3 20-plus sack seasons.
Yeah,
but I think going into this season, hopefully he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, he's definitely back top 5.
So he's got those 3 seasons. When were those seasons? Like 3 years ago now?
Now it's been 3 years since he played a full season. And he's played through tons of injuries, but you can't play through a whole ACL. You know what I mean?
I know. But I'm just saying, like, I can't put him in the top 10 when he's literally missed.
It wasn't even an ACL this year. It was something like with his ankle. I can't remember.
Back or something. I don't remember. I don't remember.
Who knows?
At all.
Number 3.
He's always getting hurt.
Number 3, Aaron Donald.
Yeah, whoa, okay. Oh, I think I know who 1 and 2 are. Okay, I can live with that. I think he should be at number 2, but I think I know where you're going with
I like Aaron Donald at 3 because it's more just because he's coming from the interior. Like, it's not that he's not better or worse at certain things than these other 2 guys, but
just say the top 3 and we can debate.
Yeah, number 2, Khalil Mack, number 1, Von Miller.
Okay, I love Khalil Mack.
But I think Von Miller's a better overall pass rusher, just by a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, Von Miller's just fast.
No, Von Miller should be 1. And then
Super fast, gets to the quarterback.
I would switch Mack and
Donald?
Yeah, Donald. I'd switch him.
It's close.
I'd switch him.
I think Khalil Mack gets after the quarterback just a little bit more effective.
Yeah,
I think that he also comes from a certain approach. Because Khalil Mack also... He's the only guy who's gotten all pro in 2 positions.
That's true, but here's my thinking on this. I would switch them because Sam had a better year. This past year. Donald.
Oh, you said Sam.
Did I?
Sam.
Did I just say Sam?
You said Sam.
Oh, my bad.
I was like, who are you talking about?
Oh, me. I had a great year. Me.
Almost graduated, man.
I had a wonderful year.
Good times.
Really.
Good times.
But I would switch him.
Oh, man, how many sacks did you have this year?
Dude, I had half.
This is going to sound
I tackled Joey once. Does that count as a sack?
It counts. Was he holding a ball? No.
Yes. I'm just going to throw him a ball now and tackle him.
Yeah.
Just because you said that.
Well, now he's going to be like, what are you doing? Is you just going to, like, hold him by his waist?
No, I could tackle Joey. I could totally tackle Joey. He's not that big.
But no, man, I like Khalil Mack. And I don't think it necessarily comes down to... Like, Von Miller consistently gets over 10 sacks every year. Like, Aaron Donald just won Defensive Player of the Year. But I think pure pass rushing wise, that Aaron Donald plays the run just a little bit more than Khalil Mack does. Khalil Mack shuts down an edge. Don't get me wrong.
I cannot believe Von Miller hasn't won a Defensive Player of the Year yet.
I think this is the year.
Isn't that insane?
It could be. I mean, it's been weird because since J.J. Watt won it 3 years ago, it's been him, then it's Mack, then it's Donald. Von Miller hasn't won it.
Isn't that insane?
He's
arguably one of the...
Like, I think the year before that it was like Justin... It was J.J. Watt 4 years ago. Before that it was like Justin Houston or something.
insane to me. He's never won one.
I think it's either going to be Vaughn or it's going to be Clowney this year.
I don't think you can ever really guess.
I mean, who knows? I'm just it's just throwing it out there. Like, okay, I think there's a lot of potential.
It's just
with
whoever
this.
has honestly, it's just
Who has the best matchups.
Exactly.
And we could look more in depth in it. I just think purely Von Miller's probably the best passer.
That's why because he's been the most consistent.
Yeah.
Like consistently, he's amazing. It's just so happens.
I mean, so is Donald.
No, but he doesn't have anything on Vaughn.
He's not as fast as
Von Miller's just.
Aaron Donald's got the best hands in the business, though. You seen how he trains?
Yeah.
With knives?
Yeah.
Dude's a freaking monster.
You told me about that and I looked it up.
There's a picture the NFL posted of Aaron Donald, of him like at the gym or something like that. He's just flexing. The dude there's no fat on Aaron Donald. None. Like he's pure muscle. The dude he's a monster. His bicep's probably the size of my head.
It's probably bigger than your head.
Probably.
He could probably eat 10 of me.
Maybe.
No, he could.
Let's get to the 49ers potential. Then lastly, we're going to have the mock draft 4.0. It's going to be all 32, so it could take a little bit of time, but I'm not going to do a terrible amount of explaining for every pick, especially if we get out of like the top 10. So 49ers potential, what do you think they have going in this year? Because you think they can make the playoffs,
I think they'll make the playoffs. I got to look at their schedule,
Their schedule's not terrifyingly challenging.
That's why they could make it.
And it's outside of like the division.
I'll say this. They'll probably get a wild card spot, and then they'll probably be one and done. That's the feeling.
Like they might win a game and then be out.
Or like they'll get in.
Like they'll get in, but that's it.
Yep, pretty much.
They're developing, and
that's fine.
They're heading on the right track. Like Jimmy G looks like a real leader of that team, enthusiastic. He's also in sunny California, which helps passing.
They got Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman's a big addition. Let's see, Kyle Shanahan. I think he is the perfect guy. I think he's the only guy outside of possibly Josh McDaniels that Jimmy could have gone to, and it would have worked. Or maybe Sean McVay, but they had Jared Goff. You know what I mean?
think you're right.
Like Jimmy works it's a spread, but it's a quicker system where it's like up tempo. They don't have to sit him down and develop plays too much. It's more of just like, all right, if you see it, go for it. And I think it works. I think that's why he did so well. They didn't lose a game when he was under center.
Isn't that insane?
Dude's undefeated. Starting within 2 seasons, didn't lose a game.
Technically, he's better than Tom Brady.
Yeah,
that's a joke. That's not true at all.
I mean, by the numbers, winning percentage, but the numbers are deceptive.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Having 7 wins versus how many does Tom Brady have in his career?
You're right.
Yeah, gee.
But he has a higher win percentage. Like I hate there's some numbers guys that annoy me. Where if you talk to guys like, oh, the numbers, you know what I mean? Like, oh, by the numbers, he's the best quarterback in football. I was like, yeah, well, I mean, if I throw one pass for one completion in the NFL, my passer rating is perfect.
And then you win the game. Then you're a perfect player.
I threw one pass that was completed. You know what I mean? Like Tim Tebow isn't a great quarterback, but the dude won games.
7's not a high number. He hasn't won that many games. He has.
What if the Niners go undefeated this season?
Shut up. I'll eat something I shouldn't eat.
If they go perfect season.
Yeah.
They don't. I think the only thing they need right now, besides
I'll
maybe
eat a tack.
You'll eat a tack. Oh, please no.
I'll do it. I'll Facebook Live it.
Oh goodness.
Y'all can watch.
Not the Tide Pod challenge. Just a tack.
Just a tack.
Like a thumbtack.
Yes. If the 49ers go undefeated and win the Super Bowl, I'll do it.
Oh my goodness. If they win the Super Bowl, oh man.
Perfect season.
Dude, what if they play the Patriots in the Super Bowl? Because that's one of the scenarios you were hoping for. Where it's a dream scenario.
I really
want to play because they don't play the Patriots this season. But if they play in the Super Bowl, which I don't think is going to happen.
No, not this year.
They're no. I think they have as much of a chance of going to the Super Bowl this year as not the Bengals. The Bengals are worse.
I feel like the 49ers have a better chance than the Bengals do.
They do.
Isn't that sad?
The Bengals are okay.
Oh, they're a joke.
Overall. We'll see what happens in the draft, but they're just not remarkable.
Cincinnati fans, I'm so sorry.
I'm not.
I am. It's terrible. They're
so mediocre.
Oh, I know.
They're not even on my list of teams that are underdogs because
that's because you forget
mediocre.
they exist.
Because
the Browns are so bad.
We did have that conversation.
We did. We actually had.
No. It's not that they're bad. They perform, but they're not flashy.
No, guys. Me and Tristan literally had this conversation where we were like, "What is the most forgettable team in the NFL?"
We did it on air 2 weeks ago.
Did we really?
I'm pretty sure we did it on air.
I think we talked about it, but I remember sitting down. This was before
because you were like, we went through the list of teams. I pulled up NFL.com and I said the Bengals, and you were like,
that wasn't 2 weeks ago. That was like a month ago. Then
maybe it was in a prior show. It definitely happened.
Well, go back and watch that show then, because we on a huge spiel about how awful the Bengals are, or how mediocre.
They're just
forgettable they are.
mediocre. That's all. Like AJ Green is very flashy. I think that Geno
feel
Atkins.
so bad for them.
Like Geno Atkins, they have some good talent. Like Geno Atkins and AJ Green, great talent. I think John Ross, give him a few more years to develop, will be really good.
John Ross is going to be really good.
He's a beast in Madden. I love John Ross in Madden because he's just so fast. But anyway,
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta
Man.
go fast.
But they are very forgettable. The Bengals are looking at getting Eric Reed, though. That's the most news I've seen out of them in like a month. The guy from the Niners,
Yeah.
who's had a few injuries. I also was like a part of those protests or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they could pick him up and be better, but they're very mediocre. The draft spots for the 49ers, though, getting back to that conversation, they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 9 picks this year in the NFL draft. They're picking at number 9 in the first round, 59, 70, 74, 128, 143, 184, 223, and 240. So they have some decent spots. They have multiple picks within the first 4 rounds, able to get some more talent. I think they're going to go after wide receiver at some point. Probably in the second round.
That should be their priority.
I think that they could potentially get Christian Kirk from Texas A&M because Jimmy just needs some more receivers.
I think it's their missing piece. I feel like if they get one really good receiver, they
like
can,
some guy who's like just super. He doesn't have to be terribly developed. Just like a guy who can go over the top of like corners.
Yeah, just not. I think if they get a great receiver, they're in amazing because great quarterback. They also should go after running back.
Are you ready to say Jimmy's great?
Yeah, I am. I'm willing to say he's great.
All right. Well, better than or worse than? Is he better than Dak Prescott? I think that's a challenging question.
I think they're actually equal. I would rate.
I would put them pretty close because Dak's had a little more body of work, and there's still a ton of potential for Dak Prescott, and the same thing with Jimmy.
I think Jimmy's smarter. I don't know what it is. He's you know what I mean? When he goes on the field, man, it's special. Every time I've watched him play,
Do you think there's just more poise out of Jimmy?
He just gets it. He's just hungry. Like he's just ready. He's ready.
He's been sitting behind Tom for 3
feels
seasons.
elite. Like when I saw it, like I remember when he played for the Patriots, dude, he just looked elite.
As soon as I saw that body of work that he had, I was like, I don't want him to go.
And then the 49ers, dude,
I was mad we didn't get a first round pick for him.
Yeah, right? I would have gone a first round. I wouldn't have traded him unless we got a first round pick.
I think that's the asking price that they started off in the offseason, but nobody was really willing to bite for a first.
They should have been. Look at them now.
Well, yeah, but then it was only 2 games in, and that the investment was almost like investing in Brock. You didn't really know.
No, you know what Bill should have done? He should have said 2 second-round picks.
But no, people were comparing Jimmy to like Aaron Rodgers.
Let's slow down.
Like, no, they're saying like, oh, he has the potential to be the next Aaron Rodgers.
No.
And my thing is
Tom.
too, I think Aaron's probably one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Like, I'm gonna say that now.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's. I think there are times where Tom is still the best quarterback in football.
Jimmy feels more like Tom to me.
Like
Younger. Like I mean. Like,
what I'm saying is that I don't think I'm not ready to say that he's going to be the next Aaron Rodgers because I mean Aaron Rodgers is good. He's got a title, but a little more pedestrian the last few years as far as playoffs go.
I'll say Jimmy feels better than early Tom. Like 2001.
Oh, yeah.
Like he feels on par right now with like a 2004.
I mean, Tom won 3 Super Bowls early in his career.
Yeah, but that's because he had amazing defenses.
The teams were ridiculous.
Yeah, his defense was amazing. But except for like 2004.
Like within the 2001 to like 2006-ish.
2004 he broke out. That was the year he started to actually play really well. Remember
well,
that
it was
Panthers
mostly
game?
defensively centered. And then Tom started... by 2007, they were an offense team.
Yes, I agree with that.
For sure.
But I'm just saying, he reminds me of like 2004 Tom Brady. Like right now. Like like young, in control.
He does have that kind of focus.
That
you know
focus, that laser. Oh man, he doesn't feel like Rodgers to me. He doesn't like.
Oh, Rodgers is a little more laid back. Like,
Rodgers is special.
Rodgers is excuse me. I'm just gonna say hell of a talent.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I mean,
can say hell.
Yeah.
I think you can say hell.
Rodgers is a hell of a talent and terrifyingly scary accuracy. Let's just put that out there. High QBR, you know what I mean, for the statistics guys. But I mean, QBR does matter. I was looking at statistics from like UVA versus Louisville last season, and
kind of matters.
You know what I mean? It does show a little bit, like, but you can't base a guy on stats only. You know what I mean? Like, which is why I'm warming more up to Sam Darnold as a quarterback than I was before. Just looking at his numbers, I didn't like it, but then like as you see him play, you start warming up a little more to the idea. No, the Niners picked up some good additions. Richard Sherman, Weston Richburg, center from New York. They have some good defensive talent, like Richard Sherman, of course, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, Solomon Thomas, Reuben Foster. So they have some really good young defensive talent. And I think it's just going to keep getting better. Multiple draft spots. I think their toughest opponents at home are, of course, the Rams, and they're going to play them away, of course. Seattle could be very dangerous and competitive. Denver and Oakland, Minnesota, Green Bay, Tampa Bay. Those are the big 5 teams, I think, outside of the division they have to get through.
Are you serious? I think Jimmy's going to carve that Seahawks defense up.
We'll see. They don't have Sherman anymore.
Nope. They don't have Bennett anymore.
I mean, Cam's coming back
from an injury.
Earl Thomas.
Earl's still there, but he's
They did beat Seattle last season.
Yeah.
They did, but they were very...
They beat
Seattle
the Jaguars.
They did beat the Jaguars.
Dude, they're going to destroy the Seahawks.
Yeah, maybe.
The
Rams,
Seahawks
are on a downward slope
California,
right now,
California slugfest, man, between the Rams and the 49ers.
California has so many good, talented teams now. The Rams, the Chargers, the Raiders for now, and the Niners.
Makes me so happy. California football, man.
It's a place to be, dude.
Sunny
weather, you know what I mean? Like
lots of fans.
Of course.
The fact that we haven't had a team in LA in our lifetime blows my mind. Didn't that blow your mind, though, that no one thought, hey, let's go to LA?
Well, they used to be, and then they kept moving back and forth.
I know, but there's such a market there. I don't understand why.
Well, now they have 2 teams, but one of the Chargers are having a tough time bringing in fans. Like the Rams,
of course,
definitely. I think the Chargers should have stayed in San Diego.
I agree with that.
They could have used a new stadium, but I think they should have stayed. In San Diego. That's just my opinion.
No, I agree with you on that. That makes sense.
Yeah. Let's move on to the last 15 minutes of the show. Mock Draft 4.0. And I do have quite a bit of changes in the top 15.
Yippee!
I know, right? So exciting.
Again,
free to chime in. I know it's just the draft preparation.
I know.
You got to get through it.
I'm just ready for the draft to be here.
Yeah, exactly. We want to watch it at your place?
Yeah, sure.
Because I don't have cable at my place.
Yeah,
so.
I'm done.
College life.
God.
I think that Cleveland surprises everyone. I think Sam Darnold's the best quarterback in this draft, but Cleveland gets a little bit, excited, and they take Josh Allen.
Mistake.
A lot of people like him as the comparison to Carson Wentz for some reason.
Okay.
But dude's got a heck of an arm talent. It's a the coin flip is either you're gonna get Carson Wentz or you're gonna get Jake Locker. That's your coin flip.
Sam Darnold's the guy.
Sam Darnold should be the guy.
He's the guy.
In this mock draft, I think that Cleveland does there's been
they do the Cleveland thing.
They do the Cleveland thing and take the guy that
they shouldn't take.
Maybe they shouldn't.
When they should just take the safe good bet. It's like passing up on Andrew Luck for, I don't know, Case Keenum. Like you wouldn't do it, right? You just wouldn't do it. No.
Like, even if Case Keenum could throw it 70 yards.
Yeah. No, but like it's ridiculous that there's actually conversations about them not taking Darnold. This should be a lock.
I mean, there's been word inside the Browns organization that I've been seeing flying around. I mean, who knows the way that social media is these days, but I have seen it flying around that there's a lot of people consider in the Cleveland organization. There's been murmurs that Josh Allen seems like the lock for them. But who really knows? I think that it's just more of like a change-up, like this is potentially what could happen. I think the Giants sitting at 2 see the mistake.
Josh
and then
Allen,
go get Sam Darnold to develop behind Eli.
Josh Allen just feels like he's going to be a bust. He just does to me.
He could be, man.
He just feels like a bust. He just does. I don't know why. Sam Darnold feels like he's the next thing.
I think the only thing Josh is missing is accuracy.
That's huge. In the NFL, that's...
No. But what I'm saying is that can be developed. Remember when, Deshaun Watson came out and they were saying that he's not an accurate passer?
I know.
But then he developed.
I know, but it's such a huge deal. Not everyone can...
Oh, and I understand it's definitely tougher. I'm not arguing that fact. All I'm saying is that you can work and develop accuracy.
I just don't understand. They have the number 1 pick. It's a great year for quarterbacks.
Take the best quarterback.
Take the best quarterback. Stop getting fancy. Just take... Whatever.
It's also up to Hugh Jackson. You know what I mean? Like, who does he think's going to fit that system more? And I still think Sam Darnold works better.
Giants are going to laugh if they don't take Sam
Darnold. Oh, my goodness. If they take him, I think it's a draft day decision if the Giants want to trade with the Bills. Let's just say that now. But I don't think they take... let's say Josh Allen gets taken at 1. The Giants take Sam Darnold, best quarterback in the draft, develop him behind Eli, get him even better mechanics-wise. And then when Eli finally hangs it up, Sam Darnold's got the Giants, who are a very solid team. They'll have an offensive line built for him. I think that's the best case scenario for the Giants. Number 3, Josh Rosen, quarterback UCLA to the New York Jets. I like this pick. I think the Jets see the potential Rosen has. He wants to compete and could really take them somewhere where they want to be. You know what I mean? They could be a Super Bowl caliber team down the road with Rosen.
See, that pick makes sense to me.
Yeah. I just really like Rosen. I think he's a very polished quarterback. My only concern is how committed is he? Like he said, like, oh, if Brady wins 6 Super Bowls, I want to win 7. I want to be the winningest quarterback of all time.
Good,
that's good things. But then, the whole thing coming out from the Giants saying that, like, the Giants just don't feel like he's, like, committed. That's an issue to me. But we'll see. I think the Jets take Josh Rosen,
well, the
safe
Giants,
pick.
to be fair, though, the Giants should not be lecturing anybody on commitment when half their players are not committed, clearly.
We have no idea, man.
The
Giants, I did see something, Landon Collins saying he buried the hatchet with Eli Apple, so I don't know what's going on there, but we'll find out next year.
I just don't trust anything out of the Giants organization. If they say that if they say that he's not ready, he's probably ready. You know what I mean? He's not committed. He's probably committed. You just...
Who knows?
Who knows, really?
Could be smoke and mirrors. Number 4, I think this is another big change-up. I think Cleveland tries to add to their defense. Instead of taking Saquon Barkley, they go get Bradley Chubb, defensive end out of NC State.
Bradley Chubb is a monster.
Gonna couple him with Myles Garrett. Have both of your edges, working against the quarterback. Their interior is still... I don't know what their interior looks like without Denny Shelton.
They're all right.
I guess they're okay. Let's see. But I think Bradley Chubb, defensive end, NC State. Number 5, Buffalo trades with Denver, swapping the 5 and 12s. I think Buffalo goes and gets Baker Mayfield out of Oklahoma.
Not a good fit.
No?
I don't think so. I can't see Baker being happy in Buffalo.
I think Baker'd be happy going in the top 5.
I think Baker wants to go play somewhere...
where there's like a little bit of,
life.
Maybe.
It's enough. Am I wrong?
I don't think it's terrible.
It's not great.
But...
it's snowing all the time.
Baker seems like a kind of guy who would rather play in like California
or New York City, like the actual city, Big Apple, like the
maybe.
Jets.
But I think Buffalo really likes Baker, which is why they keep trying to trade up. And I think Baker could potentially work with what they have. I mean, they got some decent receivers. They have, Xavier Jones. They have who went crazy.
I just feel like if Baker's not happy, he's going to be a problem. Do you know what I mean? Like he just seems like the kind of guy that like if he's not happy, he's not going to perform great, and you're going to have all sorts of issues. He needs to go somewhere.
Maybe.
He just feels like the kind of guy who needs to go somewhere where he can thrive.
I think he's potentially. Excuse me.
He doesn't feel adaptable.
Baker has the potential to be the best quarterback in this class.
Yes, he just doesn't feel adaptable. Does that make sense? Like I feel like he needs to go somewhere, and he'll either excel or he'll flounder, and that's it. I really feel like that. I don't see him doing good in Buffalo. But they'll probably take him. They should.
He's the best quarterback available.
I would take him.
Just based on what's been going on this year. Number 6, Indianapolis goes and gets a running back out of Penn State, Saquon Barkley, to help Andrew Luck.
That'd be
I think that's the best possible. Besides maybe Cleveland, because they would just tandem the running back system. I think Indianapolis needs a running back.
Or
help out Andrew Luck. He's not going all the way.
I wish he did, though.
That'd be terrifying.
That'd be amazing.
But no, you'll see. Combo. You'll like what I have later. But
I bet I will.
I think Saquon, that's the best landing spot potentially. Is that you work with a good offense, you take a little bit of the pressure off of Andrew Luck. You're a playmaker. Go help him out. Number 7, Tampa Bay. I think consistently Minka Fitzpatrick just makes sense here.
Yep, that does.
Defensive backs in general make sense for Tampa Bay. I'm not gonna have to explain it.
I think that's a lock.
Pretty much.
I'd say so.
Unless a trade happens.
Yeah.
Chicago, I think they go defense as well. Take Denzel Ward, cornerback,
Excuse you.
Ohio State. My apologies. Chicago, I think they're working on the defense at this point. Like they feel a little more comfortable with what they have offensively. They got Ebron. They have Robinson. They got Jordan Howard. They've got some people that can work around with Trubisky. So I think they go after corner and then try to solidify up the defense a little bit more, working towards the future. Number 9, San Francisco takes the best available, the offensive guard out of Notre Dame, Quentin Nelson. I think that would be a big pickup.
Huge.
For Jimmy Garoppolo. It just helps him offensively feel a little more comfortable in the pocket. I think this guy could eventually be one of the best players at the position. Number 10, Oakland, Tremaine Edmonds. Outside linebacker, Virginia Tech. Get drop back, play a little bit of coverage, rush the passer. He's just a big body guy. I think you might need to coach him up a little bit from what I'm seeing. Just teach him a little bit more scheme-wise. But I think he would work really well in Oakland. Miami, Roquan Smith, outside linebacker, Georgia, goes after the ball. I think they need some more work there. So, defense.
Defense.
Defense is defense. That's what Miami's doing. I think they're going to just bolster the defense and then work on the offense later. Number 12 in the trade, Derwin James, safety out of Florida State, to the Denver Broncos.
Wait, say that again?
Derwin James.
Oh, okay.
The safety out of Florida State, hard hitter, goes to the Denver because they're going to keep working on the secondary. To me, it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Washington, Vita Vea, nose tackle Washington, him and Jonathan Allen. I said that last week.
Makes sense.
Green Bay goes after Marcus Davenport, the guy who has a potential upside that's through the roof, but he needs work, from what I know. Arizona, Calvin Ridley. They're going to go get Sam Bradford, another wide receiver. Just works. I think it just could work well, and then develop him with Larry Fitzgerald for the future. Could be like their next guy. You know what I mean? He reminds me a lot of Amari Cooper.
They should give every pickup to get in the top 10 and pick up a quarterback. I'm sorry. No, I'm serious though. Look at their division. They need a quarterback, man, or they're gonna fall behind.
You sound scared for them, man. Like that.
I am scared. I am scared for the Cardinals because I think they're gonna get destroyed this year.
I think they're understanding that they're gonna start rebuilding offensively, but I think they want to try to hold the defense together as long as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's just kind of what the organization feels like right now.
Yep. I mean, maybe they should go all in on defense. I mean, we're gonna be the defensive juggernaut here
for like the next 5-6 years.
Yeah, except they're not because the Rams are. But you know.
Not Denver, try. Man. Denver, L.A. I mean, the Seahawks.
No, so I'm saying L.A. or L.A. right now owns that division defensively. I'd say on paper, anyways.
Yeah. Let's see. Baltimore. I think they take Isaiah Wynn, offensive guard out of Georgia. Really, really strong, good feet. From the film I saw, he could be a higher up pick.
Cool. Flacco can throw some incomplete passes
behind a good offensive line.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. L.A. Chargers go after an offensive tackle. Mike McGlinchey, I believe is how you say it. Offensive tackle, Notre Dame. I think getting anybody offensive line-wise at Notre Dame is just like a solid starter right there.
Yep.
So the Chargers go and get another starter.
Yep.
Seattle goes and gets a guard, Will Hernandez. They need to have an offensive line for Russell Wilson. And Will Hernandez is a straight-up monster.
Look, if you want to go offense, that's fine, but then you got to have an offensive line.
Exactly. Let's see. Dallas goes after Colton Miller, offensive tackle, UCLA. And I say this because it seems like without Tyron there, like Chaz Green was not ready for it. Adrian Claiborne just tore him up because he had like 6 sacks against the Cowboys.
He had some dumb number that game.
Yeah, it was like 6 sacks, I believe. If I'm not wrong.
No, wasn't it 9?
No.
It was 9 for the year, and it was 6 in that game. I think.
Yeah,
that's right.
Tore it up.
It was really freaky.
But Colton Miller seems like the kind of guy that you could step in. Like I know they're picking up Cameron Fleming as like a backup as well. But if they get Colton Miller, put him on the right side like Doug Free, and you have that offensive line almost built back together. Let's see. Detroit goes after a Michigan man, Maurice Hurst, defensive tackle. Apparently he's been cleared. He had a heart condition or something like that, but he's been cleared to play football again. Cincinnati gets an offensive tackle, Orlando Brown in Oklahoma, big boy, trying to fill in that spot from where? What's his name? Andrew Whitworth was gone, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
You seem so tired.
I'm really tired. I'm very exhausted. I'm waiting for the Patriots picks. I want to know who you're taking.
Okay.
Honestly, that's the truth.
Well, sorry, they're just late picks.
I know.
Buffalo goes after a defensive tackle. I think this is Kyle Williams' last season. So they go and get Taven Bryan, the defensive tackle out of Florida.
Okay.
He's got some good film as well. Number 23.
Oh, here we are.
New England, in the trade from the LA Rams, I think they go after their quarterback of the future, and they go get Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
There's been a lot of interest I've been seeing via Bleacher Report and social media that the Patriots are terribly interested in Lamar Jackson. So if he's still there, which he very well could be.
He should be there. It's a pretty deep, a lot of quarterbacks.
But the quarterback position could go anywhere. And like
I know,
if the Bills aren't able to go up to 12, they could very well just take Jackson and be happy with it. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like we'll have to see. Number 24, Carolina, Josh Jackson. They need some help in that secondary. They go out and get a corner. Number 25, the Tennessee Titans go get Leighton Vander Esch, linebacker, Boise State. The dude's like 6'4", but he's really fast, but doesn't use his hands when he goes into the line.
Yeah,
it's bad.
No hands.
He needs to be developed a little bit. Atlanta, Mike Gesicki, I think it's how you say his name. Tight end, Penn State. You know, I just think they need some more options for.
A tight end would
Matt
be good
Ryan.
for them. I think a tight end would be good for them.
Yeah, it could work.
No. I'm just out of all I'm looking like on paper. What do they need? A tight end would be a good pickup.
Number 27, Mason Rudolph, quarterback, Oklahoma State to the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
I could see them reaching there because of the heavy quarterback class this year, and they don't want to wait till the next round. So the guy they're going to develop behind Drew Brees for these next 2 seasons and then see if it works.
Yep.
Pittsburgh goes out and gets a safety. Justin Reed out of Stanford. Jacksonville gets another receiver after losing Hearns and losing Robinson. They go get DJ Moore, wide receiver, Maryland. Let's see. Number 30, Minnesota goes and gets a center, Connor Williams. to fill in for John Sullivan, I believe. I can't remember if he retired or not. I believe he retired.
Probably.
Let's see. Number 31, New England.
Yep.
Gets a running back at LSU, Darius Geis.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that there was some interest in him.
It could potentially be there at 31.
Good pickup.
I could see that happening. And number 32, Dallas Goedert, the tight end out of South Dakota State to the Philadelphia Eagles. They're just going to work with him and Zach Ertz. I think it just works well for their system. But it is the top of the hour. We actually got through the whole day.
Woo!
Without Sam falling asleep.
Nope, I made it.
He made it.
We both made it. Woo!
Special thanks to Sam Montana for being on the show. Special thanks to Shiza Manzoor for the Manzoor photography. And you've been listening to the Rines Report here on Radio Free Radford. Catch us next week, same time, same place, here on RadioFreeRadford.com.